Okay, so I'm going to do a brief introduction into Logger Pro for those of you that haven't used it before. I know a few of you have, and maybe if you took physics, you've used it, but just as a reminder. So to get to Logger Pro, you go down to your Finder here, and then it's going to look like this here. So you just want to open it up. And the nice thing with being in conjunction with Project Lead the Way is that they have kind of everything set up for you already, so you don't have to manipulate the graphs or get any of that ready. It's done for you. So you want to go up to File, Open, and then you're going to go to Human Physiology here with Veneer, and then you're going to go down to Reflexes with ACC, which is acceleration. So you're just going to open that up. So then you're going to see here that you have two graphs. You have one for neuromuscular reflexes. So this is going to be measuring the time and potential in millivolts of each of your reflexes of your muscles. And then below, it's also going to be recording the acceleration or the speed of that reflex. So then you can compare the two of those. A few things that you need to know as far as the buttons at the top is these up here. So this is a zero, like a 0 point if you need to zero something. You can't click on them yet because I don't have any sensors connected, but when you have sensors connected, you'll be able to click on these. Also, this one here, which is the Start Collection button, and so when I have sensors connected to my computer, this is what you would click to actually start collecting data, and then a line would start, red line will start to show up here and start to make peaks and valleys. So when it says in the instructions to make sure that you have an even, steady line, you want it to be zeroed here and steady for at least 10 seconds when you start out. So that's something you want to make sure you keep in mind. You can also customize the graph options here, and it allows you to change the values here. So if you wanted to say change this to 60, then you could change your scale to have 60 seconds or however many seconds that you want. And you can also change any of the other values and graph options as far as the names and things like that, but you shouldn't really have to mess with that. So I'm just going to change this back to 30 the way that it was at first. Okay, so another thing that you'll need to know is to be able to, once you have peaks showing on your graph, you need to be able to pick out a specific peak and get data from that. So you're going to use this button right here, which is the Examine button. And when you click on that, you have this line that shows up. And so you can click on a specific peak and it'll tell you the time in seconds and then the potential in millivolts. And you can exit out of those, or you can leave them on your graph to show the exact places for each peak. You can also do that on the acceleration graph too, and instead of, it'll show you on both of them. You can also do a span of time, so if you wanted from one peak to the next, you could click and drag, and then that's that peak here, and it's going to show that time in between there, and also the acceleration in meters per second squared. Okay, so like I said, you can exit out of those too, or you can leave them depending on what you want. And so those are really the major things that you need to know for this one. And then you always want to make sure that when you finish with one graph that you save it. And then also, all of your data is going to show up over here and it's just going to log it for you. So if you wanted to look at a specific time, you could do it over here as well. To save, just like always, you file save as. And I would probably always save it to like your documents or desktop, and then you could move it from your desktop somewhere else. Don't save it in this Veneer folder because anyone that has this Logger Pro stuff downloaded on their computers in the school would then be able to like open your graphs and look at it. So save it to your desktop or something like that first. And also I would probably save it as like your name and then what activity or graph it is specifically that you're looking at. So you can go back to those and use them in data analysis portions. And then to close out, you have to go up to the Logger Pro symbol and then just quit Logger Pro. And I'm not going to save this one because it was just a tutorial. All right, that's it.